So let's proceed in the last example, example number 8, that gives us the condition. It has a diameter with endpoints A, point A that gives us -1, 4, and B, 4, 2. So given the condition, the diameter of the circle has an endpoints of -1, 4, and 4, 2. We are going to find the standard equation, or we are going to write the standard equation of the circle. Sabi ko nga, kailangan natin para makasulat tayo or magkaroon tayo ng standard equation of the circle, kailangan natin palaging tandaan na meron tayong center at saka meron tayong radius. So since diameter ang ibinigay sa atin, we all know in our previous mathematics lesson that diameter is yung full na radius. Kumbaga, if you multiply the radius by 2, you will get the diameter. And if you divide the length of the diameter into 2, then it will give you the radius. So which means, pag i-visualize natin siya, if you have a circle, imaginary lang na perfect circle siya, then this line here is your diameter. Then you will have the center. If this will be your diameter, and this is your point A and point B, to get the radius, you need first to identify the ordered pair of your center. And this center, in relation to point A and point B, serves or represent here the midpoint of the line segment AB. So in order for us to get the ordered pair of the center, we are going to apply the midpoint formula. So let us try to recall what is the formula in getting the midpoint of a line. So midpoint M is equal to x sub 1 plus x sub 2 divided by 2. That is to get the value of x. For the y value, we will have y sub 1 plus y sub 2 divided by 2, then close parentheses. Yung x sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 1, y sub 2 ay kukunin natin dito sa dalawang given na point. So let us assign this as x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. Then substitute in your midpoint. Yung midpoint ng A at saka B will serve as your center. So midpoint equals your x sub 1 is -1 plus your x sub 2 is 4 divided by, constant yung 2 natin, divided by 2, comma, your y sub 1 is 4 plus your y sub 2 is 2 divided by 2. Then we're going to simplify. So midpoint or your center now. After you get the midpoint, that point will serve as your center of the circle. So -1 plus 4, opposite sign, so we subtract. 4 minus 1 is 3. 3 divided by 2, so 3 over 2. Naging positive siya kasi larger yung 4, so that's why positive. Next, 4 plus 2, you will get 6. 6 divided by 2, you will have 3. So therefore, the ordered pair of your midpoint is 3 over 2 and 3, or that will be also your center. So since you already have the center, yung kulang na lang natin is yung radius. Yung center natin, at meron tayong isang point ng endpoint ng diameter. So again, from the center, going to one endpoint of the diameter, it will give you the length of the radius. So we can apply the distance formula. Pwede rin siya, center, yung A, tapos center, or yung B. The same lang sila since ito ay midpoint or center. So now, let us try to use the distance formula in getting the radius of the circle so that we can write later on the standard equation. So distance equals the square root of x sub 2 minus x sub 1 squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared. Yung distance natin, let's try to use na lang yung ito. Pwede rin ito para positive, para hindi na kayo malito. Pwede rin naman ito. The same pa rin sila. So let's try to use point B. So since may label na to na x sub 2, y sub 2, pwede na gawin natin to x sub 1, y sub 1. So hindi na natin muna to gagamitin yung A. Ito muna ang center at saka yung B. Pwede magkabaliktad. Pwede ito sa x sub 2, y sub 2, pwede rin ito. The same pa rin yan. So yung distance natin na kinukuha is yung length or distance ng point B sa center. So it will serve as the length of your radius now. The square root of your x sub 2 is 4 minus your x sub 1 is 3 halves. Quantity squared plus your y sub 2 is 2 minus your y sub 1 is 3. Quantity squared. So R equals the square root of 4 minus 3 halves. So that yung pinaka-hate ng mga student, the fraction. But let me explain it to you how to solve or how to subtract a whole number from a fraction. So 4 minus 3 halves. Ito, yung 4 na yan, all whole numbers, meron niyang denominator na 1. Based sa ating invisible mathematics. Consider dyan yung lahat ng mga numbers, whole number, as long as wala yung nasa baba, ay meron yung 1 sa baba. Equals 1 and 2, you get the LCD. So 1 and 2, yung LCD nila actually is 2. Once meron ka nang nandyan na number na LCD, all you have to do, 2 divided by 1 is 2. Then 2 times 4 is 8. Next, again, the same process. 2 divided by 2, 1. 1 times negative 3 is negative 3. So, once na meron ka na nito, you can now simplify. The same na yung denominator nila. 8 minus 3, you will get 8 minus 3 is 5. Then just copy the denominator. Squared. Tapos, i-erase na lang natin ito para magkaroon tayo ng space. Plus, 2 minus 3, it will give you negative 1 squared. So, R equals the square root of 5 over 2 quantity squared. Ang mangyayari, you square first the numerator, then square again the denominator. So, 5 squared is again 5 times 5. 5 times 5 is 25, and 2 times 2 is 4. That's why 5 over 2 squared is 25 over 4. Plus, negative 1 squared, which means negative 1 times negative 1. So that will give you positive 1. And again, 25 over 4 plus 1, we can use again yung itinuro ko kanina lang to find the LCD so that we can combine 25 over 4 plus 1. So pwede tayong diretso na. The LCD will be, so for ito, yung 1 may over 1 yan. So yung LCD natin ay 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 1 times 25 is 25. 4 divided by 1 is 4. 4 times positive 1 is 4. Again, 4 divided by 1 is 4. 4 times 1 is 4. Therefore, the radius now will become the square root of 25 plus 4. We have 29 over 4. And we're going to simplify this. In getting the square root of a fraction, all you have to do is to get the square root ng numerator and then again, get the square root of the denominator. So r equals, meron bang square root yung 29? Is 29 a perfect square number? Of course, 29 is not a perfect square number. 29 is a prime number. So therefore, i-say lang natin yung radical sign sa 29 over square root of 4. Is 4 a perfect square number? Yes, because the square root of 4 is 2. So, square root of 4 is 2. Therefore, your radius now is square root of 29 over 2. And now that we have the center and the radius, we can write the standard equation of the circle. So, x minus h